Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Before starting my video, if you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please do. And do not forget turn on notifications because I'm here every day for you. Alright, in this video I'm going to kickstart a new playlist, and I know it is expecting for a long time, and it is going to be about API fundamentals. I'm going to share you important basic informations regarding to API. First of all, if you didn't watch my MVC Fundamentals, MVC Basics playlist, I strongly recommend you to watch it because I'm not gonna repeat everything what I already taught you in MVC playlist, because MVC side and API side has almost 85 or 90% same how can I say, common subjects. All right, so let's go back my curriculum. For example, working principles, pipeline, models, V models, controller, non-controller, non-action, data transfer methods, model binding, validations, routing, dependency injection, area. Most of thing is same with the APIs. So I'm going to show only the difference between API and MVC, and I also, in addition to that, I also show you the logic of API. Why do we need API? To explain this question, I would like to show you a scenario, and according to this scenario you will understand why do we need API. Okay, let's change our slide. By the way, I'm going to open my board. Let's make fully our background. Let's select black. All right. Let's imagine we have an MVC project here. And here our user. Black is not very good in this section. Let's change it. Let's delete it. Okay, let's type here. All right. Here we go. This is our user, and user is sending a request to our project and receiving response, right? Let's say this is our user. So if it's an MVC project, I mean not MVC, if it's web application, we type here, for example, www some site.com slash, for example, get all products. We send a request, and as a result we are receiving all products in return. All right, and now once our page activated, we're able to see the product list on our browser. But what if I would like to use same application in my mobile or my, how can I say, smart TV? Yeah, smart TV. Just imagine I'm using smart TV application and I would like to use my TV to reach my database, to reach my information related to our company. So what's gonna happen? I couldn't do that because my application doesn't have any endpoint to reach by another device. So in these circumstances, we are using APIs. Basically, we are removing the connection between user and database. Yeah, we are creating another users. Oops, not you. We are creating another users. We can say device. Let's say TV app, and let's say this one mobile, but we need to request from mobile, from TV app, and from our web application, but we are sending different type of request. Maybe my TV application has, for example, JavaScript. All right. What if my mobile application have just Go language? So what's going to happen? I need to send a common request to my application, receiving another common generic response. To do that, we are using APIs. APIs help us to solve this problem. Okay. Each application has their own consumer project. In these circumstances, let's add here their own projects with these squares. All right. They have their own controller. Just imagine their ASP.NET Core project. Okay. Their controller send a request to API controller. So normally what we have, let's close this one. Normally in MVC project we just have one controller, right? Now what we did here, we let's me delete here. We break the connection, our controller with our database. Let's delete it. It is deleted. Okay. We still have our controller. All right. We created another application. We created another application here, which is API project. And this API project has own controllers. Okay. So from my web application controller, I'm sending another request to my API. As a response, I'm receiving my response from my API controller to my application controller. All right. Then I'm receiving my result. During this sending request, we are using generic type of, how can I say, request and response. It is JSON format file. All right. Let's get back our other PowerPoint slide. As you can see here, I have a web application and I have a mobile application. I have my own application here, which I'm telling them consumer project, all right, consumer application, and this is API provider, which we are providing data for our consumer project. You can have your own models and database for each device, and you don't have to have them if you are not um, trying to make another data keeping or logic or doing something different scenario. You don't have to have database, but you can have also. It's up to your scenario. All right. Let's open our board. Let's clean all of them. All right. As you can see, user has own application here, web application and mobile. Once user send a request to the controller, this controller sent another request to the API controller, and data will processed here. Once we receive the result, our API sent the result to the target controller, then device application send result to the user. Why we are making, you can say we are making things for us harder, but just imagine, instead of web application, what if we are sending our request from mobile application? In these circumstances, we are able to do that thanks to the API. User send request to the mobile application controller send request to API, and we're receiving back response, and response sent back to the user. You can add as much as device you can. It is not important at this point anymore. I assume you understand what is the logic behind the APIs and why we are using APIs. Alright, now let's jump to the our Visual Studio and let me create a new project and I show you step by step what is the differences between MVC and API projects. Now I'm going to create a new project. Add new project. Select ASP.NET Core Web API. Next, I'm going to give API project. Let's next. And leave the everything is default. Let's create your application. As you can see, our first API project have been created. Okay, let's have a look quickly the file and folder system. Let's open my MVC project and let's compare. Everything seems is the same. We don't have just www root section because it contains our static file. But if you would like to add, just right click on it, add your project, new folder, give a name www root, and here we go. You have your www root folder as well. All you need to do, add your the static files in your program says file app use static files. Now we add our pipeline, our static files, and we're able to use it. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, this is not a big difference between MVC and API. You can add whenever you want. Okay, let's save it. Let's continue. We have controller and controller again. We don't have models here, but you can add models. We have to add models, by the way. We're going to use our models. Let's add it. I don't know why it's not added here in the first hand. Okay. And we have view. Yeah, this is the difference. We don't have any view in API project because we are returning JSON data. Actually, we are not returning JSON data. We are returning result with the status code and it contains JSON data. I'm going to show you much more detailed after this lesson. Okay, so we have app settings JSON again. We have program CS file and the weather forecast is, yeah, this is the model which is just located out of side model folder. I'm going to delete it. This is just example. Let's delete it. Okay, this is our controller. Let's have a look quickly what kind of controller we have here. It seems a little bit, how can I say, it might be complicated, so I'm going to delete it and I'm going to create a new one and show you step by step uh, with clean and small controllers. It much be better, I guess. Let's delete it. All right. So as you can see, we have more than 90% is same file and folder structure. Only difference, we don't have any view in API project, and in MVC project we have view. I'm going to create a new controller which is empty one for API, and let's investigate. Let's have a look what is the difference inside. Okay, let's create a controller. I'm going to click API and MVC one. Let's edit. I'm going to give home controller. All right, let's continue to investigate our file and folder structure. As you can see, this is our home controller class and it is in inherited from controller base. Let's have a look our MVC controller and see the difference. And it is using controller. So what is the difference then? Let's have a look our controller. And controller is inherited from controller base. So there is Nothing different. The difference is controller has JSON, partial view results, and controller base doesn't have those because this is the difference. MVC return these kind of views, but API don't. This is the difference. This is why MVC controller use inheritance as a controller and API use controller base. Let's have a look to controller base as well. What kind of value we have. All right. Let's come inside. Okay, as you can see, we are returning. We have returning results, accepted results, challenge result, bet request, created content, and lots of result we are returning in our controller uh, base. Okay, but we are going to, in my project, we are going to create our customized object results most of the time. Alright, let's close it as well. So when it comes to create a new class, let's create one public action result. We're going to create an action result. Okay, let's say test, or let's say index. Alright, so return value must be a result. For example, bet request result. So let's have a look what kind of result is that. It returns, it produce credit, creates a bet request result that produce status code, status for bet request. Okay, so we are returning request guy because this API receiving a request, manipulate the data and return request as well. If it's okay, okay, but if it's there is a problem, it's going to be a bad request or another error request. Okay, I'm going to leave it for example, I'm going to leave it for a while here. Let's continue investigate our MVC project and we will come back again here. Let's close here now. Let's save it for a while. Let's continue to program CS file and have a look quickly. Alright, so we have controllers because we have controllers and we have builder as well, so we can add our services. Service, where is our service by the way? Yep, we have builder, sorry. Builder.service. We can add everything what we want to our service container, same as our MVC fundamental and basics. Okay, we have added static files by the way, but as you can see here in this section we have map controllers. Okay, but it means if you remember our routing and controllers section in our MVC, if we are using map controllers without any name pattern or anything, it means we are using our where is my, not you, where's my controller? It means we are using own customized route for every class or every action. Okay, perfect. So I assume you understand the most important difference. Second difference, the first one is view, the second difference is routing. So we're going to adjust our routes in our controllers. All right. The rest of them is the same, guys. We have authorization, authentication, and the other things are the same. So all we need to add our specified customized rules in our controller and action section. Perfect. I assume you understand the basic differences between API and MVC right now. All right. Now I would like to finish this lesson because next lesson I would like to show you what kind of result we are returning from our controllers and how we able to reach them, how we able to read them, and how we able to create endpoints in an API project. Alright guys, I'm going to finish this lesson here. Take care of yourself. See you on next lesson. Bye bye.